is up, everyone? Recently I've gotten some requests for like basics on fish tanks, so I guess here we go. So the first thing to think about when setting up a fish tank is the tank itself. My me myself, I have a 20 gallon, but if you're new into the whole fish tank community, uh, I wouldn't really go for a 20. That's a lot of water to deal with. So instead, I'd probably go for around a 10ish. Uh, and with that, when you do your water, you've always got to dechlorinate it because even your tap water has chlorine. So you always want to get these guys. These guys will be like lifesavers when it comes to fish tanks. Uh, yeah, so that's the first thing. And then fish themselves, most fish at pet stores will have like a sign saying their name and then what their gallon recommendation is. So always watch for that when buying fish because you never want to put a fish that's meant for like a 50 gallon and 10 gallon. That's just cruel. Also for food, I feed my fish this food, but food is also based on the fish. So my fish are more tropical fish, like that guy. Very colorful. So especially that guy, he goes crazy for this stuff. Along with that, when setting up a tank, you also want to get one of these test kits by API. They are amazing, especially when setting it up, because when you first set up a tank, you've always got to make sure levels on everything are right, because if you don't, happened to me before, you will kill your fish on accident. So always, it takes. For mine, I redid this a while ago, and it took like over 2 weeks for the water to get to the right level for my fish to live in. So that was annoying because I had to live in that tiny thing compared to this huge thing. Also, filters. I used to have an off the back filter. It's entirely opinion based, pretty much. I just like that more. That's a sponge filter. It's pretty much opinion based. Off the back seems to be easier. Also, with filters, you've got to clean them every once in a while. So, like, if stuff starts getting built up in it, you've got to clean it so that you won't stop, so the filter won't stop working. Also, gravel is pretty much opinion based. For me, I went with sand because sand is nicer. But if you're getting first starting into the fish tank, I would start with gravel. It's a lot easier to deal with because you don't got to worry about cleaning it and all that. Also, with sand, it creates a huge, like, sandy water situation for a couple days. That's kind of difficult to deal with. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend sand as a starter. If you go with gravel, which I started with, don't go with like the bright blue or like the rainbow gravel that you see at the pet store. Go with the more moderate like black gravel because that stuff will leak paint into your tank and isn't the greatest for your fish. You also don't want to get like hard plastic. If you go for plants, either get live plants, or if you don't feel like dealing with live plants and want fake ones, go with like softer materialed fake ones because hard plastic ones will cut your fish, and that's not great for your fish, of course. Um, Let me think. Other stuff like decorations, same thing. You don't want bright colors like the SpongeBob stuff, leaks paint. Anything that's overly bright probably will leak paint into your stuff. You want more minimal paint stuff. Like mine, I have these logs, or even that. That says fin there done bad, by the way. So you want to go with more minimalistic type stuff because easier to deal with. You also want to have enough cover for your fish. So like these guys, especially these colored ones, will go into the cave and chill. Same thing with my plecos, which I think they're hiding right now. One's back in there if you can see behind the blue guy. Also, the blue guy just went in the cave. So with that, you always want to make sure you have enough space for your fish to actually, like, hide I guess you could say. The plecos, if you get plecos, uh, they're gonna want a lot of cover. So as you can see, I have a ton of plants and like stuff back there to cover them. So they like that. Also, when you set up a tank, if you get a filter off the back one, you always want to get an air stone, whether it's something like that where it's built in, or I have other ones. I just don't know where. That stuff is like heavily required because your fish need oxygen, even though they're underwater, or else they will die, and nobody wants dead fish. So yeah, make sure to get a air stone. Other stuff that might be helpful is a siphon. Jeez. Is a siphon for when you've got to clean out your tank, because every once in a while you do a 20% water change, which is when you drain it about 20%, which is more like that, and then you refill it. So with that, you take this, you use about a capful or two of for setting up a new tank. But when you're adding water, you get stress coat. Stress coat pretty much makes the water safe for fish. So when you do a 20%, it tells you how much. So like at the very bottom, if you can see it like dips down, that's the capful for like a gallon. So you go based off of that. And yeah, I don't think as much else. You can go with all sorts of food when it comes to fish. Just make sure you have the right type. Like I used to have mainly goldfish. I still have a goldfish. That dude back there, even though he's very pretty, that's a goldfish. So yeah, that's all I can think of. Also, when it comes to whether you want a tall tank or a long tank, is if you have fish that, I like this tank because I have fish that will go up and down it. But if you have fish that are more so going to go like that, go with the long. So at the pet store, if you go, you'll see either one that looks like this, which is 20 gallons tall, or you will see a longer one that's more like that, just double, which is 20 gallons long. Go off of what you think. For me, I like this one, tall, for the fish being able to go up and down. Long is for if you have fish that stay on the bottom and don't really go like this. So like if you got just like plecos or other sub level type fish, you'd want a long. But if you have fish like this guy who do the whole area, get it tall. Also, what else? Oh yeah, you also, when you get a tank, make sure your shelf is like strong. I have this like shelf right here. You want to make sure it's strong because like water weighs a lot, and you don't want to set up your tank and then it break your shelf and then you have to deal with a glassy, watery mess. That's never fun. Don't do that. Also, make sure you have good like power source nearby. I have a power station, I guess you could say, where I plug everything into. So yeah. Also, when you're doing a air stone, make sure you have an air producer that's big enough. So I have this that pumps air through this tube down into that, which shoots up and makes it all bubbly and oxygenated. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.